So we know that Indonesia already has a roadmap to achieve the net zero emission by 2060, or hopefully sooner than that. And also, this needs immediate and sustained actions, definitely. But it's not easy, and we have at least 3 priorities, which is the energy transition and the energy that is more efficient, renewables in the electricity sector, and also cleaner energy, green energy, to fuel the economic activity. So my first question would go to you, Pak Yudo. How do you see this? And also, if you could tell us more on the measures looking at Indonesia's roadmap to achieve those at least 3 focuses. Go ahead.
Thank you, Bu. Thank you, Bu. Indonesia, the net zero emission target for Indonesia is 2060 or sooner.
Yeah.
Sooner in the sense that if we can get further support from global community, at least for 2 things. Number 1, technology. We do need and we do need a new technology, more efficient, more productive, and of course, since we are a developing country, we do need affordable one. And secondly, we do need finance. That's very happy to see you all that we do need new projects on the ground, new renewable for energy efficiency as well, and for what we call the new energy, like nuclear, like hydrogen or ammonia. There's something within our plan. So in the future, the picture of Indonesian energy will quite different. 2060, the majority of our energy came from solar, from sun. That's number 1, and that's why we do need, since solar is intermittent in the sense when day on and then night off. So we do need battery to store it, and that's why we are very serious about building a battery. And then another one, of course, we do need a stable one, stable power generation, like geothermal, like hydro as well, to support this, to overcome this intermittency problem actually. And also we plan to have a nuclear power plant in Indonesia in the future, of course. And hopefully, by doing this, we can still, 100% fulfill Indonesia, our domestic energy demand, as well as, promoting efficiency. That's very, very serious for us. We have a new regulation on efficiency that push corporation, companies like you, to adopt energy efficiency measure. And big corporations have to report to us online. We have the online system right now. About 300 companies already submitted reports about the level of energy efficiency to us, to our DG. And then another thing that we also, why we do need energy efficiency, because by doing efficiency, we can reduce the investment. The investment is very, very high actually to support energy transition. Then it is right now it's not quite easy actually to get investment to come to Indonesia. But however, we hope that by doing many regulation, revising regulation, including right now we are finishing the new law of new energy and renewable energy law. So hopefully this is going to be the significant game changer for us for doing our energy transition until 2060. Again, we want to put access at reliable services as well as doing energy efficiency.
All right, Pak Yudo. So it's very loud and clear that Indonesia has laid out the roadmap to make everyone easy to put the investments in. Also, infrastructures are going on in Indonesia. And we have seen the nickel ore output, as I've mentioned in the early session, in the early prelude, that it is on the upward trend. And exports of nickel contain metals have increased rapidly as well. We have seen the FDI into Indonesia has also reaching quite a good level. How would you account for this rapid growth? Because Indonesia, it seems like it's at the center of ASEAN at the moment. So how do you see and account this rapid growth, and what, in your view, will be the future trend?
The story actually more complex, more complex rather than the story that you just asked me. Actually, when talking about what we call critical minerals, a certain set of minerals that to support and transition, copper, tin, nickel, for battery, and aluminum as well, for instance, and many more if you're talking about a smaller scale like cobalt for battery. So number one, of course, we want to have this downstreaming industries, We want to build battery to support our institution, and also we want to have aluminum smelters. Number one, I think the first one is still constructed in Western Kalimantan. And tin, we have it, to support it. So the government strategy is to build this downstream industries. And I need to tell you more actually about the silica sand, because we do need to build our domestic manufacturing facility to produce solar cell. And then a month ago, a big corporation in Indonesia, Trina, second largest solar producer, Sinarmas and Agra, already groundbreaking in Kendal, the first the first solar manufacturing plant in Indonesia. And to my knowledge, there are several investors, already showing a strong intention to invest in Indonesia about this. So again, nickel is already, ongoing. Tin already ongoing, and aluminum on progress. Silica sand in the beginning.
Just starting off.
Just started.
Okay, thank you, Pak Yudo. Now I'd like to go to Mr. Michael Chong. So on January last year, 2022, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, was officially implemented. And in February 2022, Great Wall Motors announced its intent to cover 8 areas or 8 markets in ASEAN by the end of this year, 2023. So why ASEAN, first of all? I mean, it's pretty clear actually, but we would like to borrow your head. And why ASEAN, and how have you established so far in the region?
Okay, first, very happy and honored to be invited here to have some sharing about our experience of the investment and also some understanding of the EV development in the region. So I'm gonna have some brief introduction about our company and our milestones in the region. So actually, as everybody knows that Chinese companies are expanding globally, right? I think ASEAN is one of the key market for the Chinese players to expand outside of Chinese market. I think some of the reasons, China and ASEAN, we have a very strong, relationship, and also the economy of the ASEAN and China, increasing significantly in the recent years. So I think these are the basis of our expansion outside of China. For Great Wall Motors, our expansion, we think ASEAN is our strategic market. So because of the population, because of the market opportunity, so that's why we have very strong investment in ASEAN region. For our development here, actually we enter into the ASEAN region in 2020 by acquiring one current factory in Thailand. And in 2021, we launched GWM brand. So GWM, Great Wall Motor, actually we launched this brand. And 1 year later, in 2022, February, actually we have our ASEAN strategy 4+4. So that means we have some subsidiary companies for the local production and also some imported from China. For the overall markets, as you mentioned, actually currently we already covered 9 out of 10 ASEAN markets.
9 out of 10?
Yeah, 9 out of 10.
Okay.
So actually Indonesia is the market we're going to launch in the first quarter of next year. Yeah.
All right, so next year, first quarter, it will be launched for Indonesia.
Yeah, quarter one of 2023.
All right. Okay, so if we look at ASEAN, we know that Thailand has gone into the way to become the regional vehicle production hub, and it has the latter long-established export-oriented automotive industry as well. What about Indonesia? What kind of challenges you think Indonesia will face in terms of making it itself to become also a hub of EV and also battery production in the region of Southeast Asia?
If we see the total market volume of the ASEAN market, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, these two markets are the top ranking of automobile consumption and production. I think currently Thailand and Indonesia, even Malaysia, are working on to be the regional hub for the vehicle manufacturing. I think the market is already doing a very good job. I think for Indonesia, right? We think this market is very important to us because of the great population and also the market opportunity. We think still the ownership per thousand vehicles can be improved a lot. So that's why we think this market is a good opportunity. So currently, apart from the investment in Thailand market, we have the full manufacturing facilities, stamping, welding, painting, assembly, and also we have the subsidiary companies like the seating, the wire harness, the chassis parts, the engine, and also very recently we have our battery plant in Thailand market. So currently we have a full presence and a very, very heavy investment in the Thailand market. But for Indonesia, we think this market is also very potential. That's why we have actually very recently in June of this year, we have signed the strategic partnership with one of the world's largest distributor group, Inchcape.
Inchcape, yes.
Yeah. So actually we are working on some models introduction and also even the local production of the vehicles. So this is our plan. Actually, we have unveiled our products in Indonesia market in the August International Motor Show.
Right.
So that, as I mentioned, firstly we're going to launch the vehicles with our partners in Inchcape, right, in this market, and gradually we are working on the localization of the market.
All right. So Indonesia is seen as very potential as becoming the EV hub in the region as well. Now I'd like to go to Pak Bonar. Pak Bonar, since President Joko Widodo's first term, which is back in 2014, we have seen focuses on expanding domestic benefits from the mining by requiring mining companies to domestically add value, right? And also forcing the foreign investors to reduce shareholdings in the mining companies operating in Indonesia. Now, this culminated in 2020, where we're seeing the implementation of a complete ban on the export of nickel ore. So is a shift towards higher value, you think, would give us challenges as well as opportunities? And with the regional footprint that UOB has, how do you see this translating into other commodity classes as well?
Yeah, thank you, Alia. Good morning, everyone. I think I would like to quote some of the numbers that our earlier speaker talked about. Right? First of all, I think the value addition is the only way to create an economic growth in a sustainable way. Now, let me quote some numbers. First is from Errico. He mentioned that during the ore export era, Indonesia export of nickel ore is only about $2 billion. Then this morning, Pak Hidayat said that in 2014, when the idea of value addition is muted, the export of nickel-related products is about $14 billion. And then he also mentioned now it's about $34 billion. Of course, the price is different.
Yeah.
So it is transformational. So value addition is transformational. But there are two challenges when we talk about economic transformation. The number one challenge is how to make sure that this transformation is sustainable, can sustain and continue. Because it is very easy, and we have seen some examples, when a country starts the transformation, stop midway, and then it loses the momentum, right? Okay. For example, let's talk about nickel, go back to nickel. It's always easy and more interesting when we talk about nickel to battery. But let's not forget about the ferronickel part, which is the biggest part of our export now in nickel. What can Indonesia do to continue push down the value chain and create more value added, right? So that is the first challenge. The second challenge is to make sure that the three elements of any transformation is aligned and in harmony. The three is capital, technology, and policy. In any transformation, you need these three elements to work together.
So capital,
technology, and policy.
Okay.
Right? So these three must work in balance, right? Let's make one example of EV, right? For example, you have the technology,
Yeah.
you have the capital, but what we need is the policy to design so that it can attract the capital and create the domestic market, right? You see this on US IRA, for example. This act is created for three main purposes. Number one is to transform the demand in the country to more renewables, create US as the hub of the renewables, and the three is to create US as the center of technology in renewables. So in Indonesia, the technology is out there, the capital is out there. What we need is the policy designed to attract more capital and to create market, domestic market in the country. But if we look at two-wheelers EV, for example, the policy is ahead, the technology is ahead, but the capital is behind, right? The government has introduced the subsidy, the earlier regulation basically create a bit more complicated to get the $450 subsidy on two-wheelers. Recently, it is changed, becoming so easy to get the subsidy.
Right.
But out of the quota of 200,000 two-wheelers electric, the most recent numbers that I saw, only 1,000 is taken up. So the policy is geared toward helping the market to grow. The technology is there, but what is lacking is the capital, because the ecosystem of financing for end buyer is not there yet. So the three things must be in harmony, and I think that is the one that making sure that the transformation continues, and whenever these three moves, it will create always the opportunity for the business to grow.
Right. So we cannot lose the momentum, and we have to make sure that the capital, the technology, and the policy is there. Move along simultaneously.
Yes.
Okay, to support that. Okay, let's go back to Pak Yudo. Pak Yudo, we know that we want to have this universal access to electricity, and we want to balance the energy as well whilst reducing the reliance on fossil fuels. But we know that to have the electricity, we still need the energy. So energy means, actually, energy is life for now, right? So what are the opportunities that you see lie ahead for private sector investment and maybe participate in this matter?
Sure. Energy transition, provides so many opportunities, Just to give you an example, a month from now, I think in early November, the president will inaugurate the first floating solar plant, biggest one in Indonesia, 145 megawatt AC, not DC. The DC number is about 297, something like that. So it's located in Cirata. That's going to be the largest floating solar power plant in the region, not only Indonesia. So you can imagine, we will multiply this kind of project, floating solar, because we have many dams that we have, and we can roll out, at the surface, this floating solar, without need any, land, actually. That's number one. And secondly, yes, of course, as the 280 million people, we do need, as authority, to focus on energy access, providing access all over Indonesia. However, bear in mind, this is the largest archipelago on earth.
True.
That, we have to run our energy system island by island, independently. So the idea that we have right now, that we want to build what we call super grid, connecting Java, Sumatra, Java, Kalimantan, and then from Java, Bali goes to Eastern Nusantara. Back to commodity, you know very well, a cable made from copper, right? So you can imagine the consumption of copper in the future. And to add more, the ASEAN power grid, so not only Indonesia, ASEAN as well, have the dream to build ASEAN power grid. Again, you can imagine the future of this commodity sector. So, but again, when talking about islands, of course, the cheapest one is depending on local resources. Sun, maybe in the future when technology is commercially available, using the tidal or sea current, for instance, But so far, solar is one of the top priority for us. We have the sun, tropical country, right?
If I go back to what Pak Bonar already mentioned, that we have seen examples like the US, let's say, and in this very much fragmented world in terms of its economy, how do you think Indonesia can actually bridge that so that we don't lose the momentum, while we don't want to just do businesses with our bloc members, let's say, but open more opportunities so that we can be more powerful, because synergy is everything today. So how do you see Indonesia can actually open more to that opportunities?
Oh, we create demand really. Just to give some numbers, until 2060, we will build our solar capacity more than 700 gigawatts. That's why we are very serious when talking about domestic manufacturing facility. And then so many projects in the future when talking about solar, geothermal as well, hydro, big hydro, That's why, we have the plan to connect Java to Kalimantan, to absorb more the hydropower from Kalimantan goes to Java actually. And then by doing this, the dream to have a green industries can be realized, So a lot of things actually, but maybe not now, but step by step we will do it.
Okay, we do the baby steps, but we start now, okay?
Yes.
Now, let's go to Mr. Michael Chong. So there was an increased focus on the downstream industry roadmap, especially in Indonesia. We have heard from Pak Yudo as well, and including one of the EV industry. Now, could you elaborate your roadmap for developing homegrown battery electric vehicles entails? How is your views on the considerations at play for developing homegrown battery electric vehicles in ASEAN markets?
Yeah, I think for the BEV development in the ASEAN market, now it's just in the very beginning. So actually, before 2 years, actually, for example, the Thailand market and the overall ASEAN market, the total BEV sales less than 2,000 units. But I think last year from 2022 to 2023, we got some government subsidy, like in Thailand. They have some excess reduction and also some cash subsidy of the BEV. So we can see that this year, every month we can sell around 7,000 units in total in the market. And also Vietnam is also developing very fast. I think this is the very early stage, but with the government support, we can have we can have very potential to have the big growth. So I think with this trend, we also hope the other government of the ASEAN market can also gives this kind of support to the market, to the customers, to the vehicle brand, and to try to have the quick introduction of the BEV in the market. I think this is the very beginning, because we have to admit that the BEV price in the very beginning is very high, right? Without some subsidy from the government, some support, it's not possible. It's just rich people's car. But with some support, we can have the quick introduction of the vehicle to the consumers. Once consumer try the BEV, I think some of you may try the BEV, right? If you drive the BEV, you cannot come back to the ICE.
Right.
Because of the NVH, because of the technology, because of the acceleration, the performance of the vehicle, I think it's still good, right? Very good. And also, currently the technology of the battery is already mature, right? I think especially in Southeast Asia, the climate here is very suitable for the BEV development. I think these are the factors which can contribute a lot to the development of the BEV. Of course, we have some challenge as well, right? For example, the charging infrastructure. So currently, actually, the charging facility is still, kind of behind, to meet the customer's charging request, right? So if people live in the house, they can install the charger. But for the people for the consumer who live in the condominium, apartment, it's not easy to install the chargers.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I think these are some of the bottlenecks. Right? If we can solve this problem, I think the development of the BEV will be very fast. And anyway, I think now the trend is already going on.
Yeah.
Right, with the market like Thailand, Vietnam, even Indonesia is also, some customers already accepted the BEV cars. So for the company, I think we should treat these companies very seriously and to invest in the BEV. Right, I see that the Indonesia has very aggressive, a plan, right, to have the carbon neutrality. So I think this is the good guidance to the investors, in the market. So we have to be ready for the new energy vehicles.
Yeah.
Right. That's why for our product portfolios we have HEV, PHEV, and BEV. So this can meet the different requirement of the customer, and
Okay.
also this is a good transition for the vehicle. So I
Right.
see in the end of this year or in the following years, I can see the very positive development and growth of the BEV.
Okay,
in this region.
it's great to hear that. And I just want to remind Pak Yudo, so SDM mentioned that 2.1 million EV will hit the roads of Indonesia. That's still going to be on the plan, right? By 2030.
Yeah. But I have to address that our main problem actually when talking about vehicles is two-wheelers.
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 We have a lot of two-wheelers here already.
125 million motorbikes in Indonesia.
That's right.
And then when talking about transition to EV, from internal combustion to EV, this is one of our priority actually. We have the not subsidy, but subsidy meaning for full people, but
Yeah,
so it's incentive,
Incentives
to buy two-wheelers EV as well as you can bring your old motorbikes and then we can convert it into vehicle, and
okay.
both of this case, get 7 million incentive for the government.
Yeah.
In the sense that, guys, please move on this track, energy transition.
Although the owners of motorcycles are sometimes not the ones from the lower economic level, some people
That's
really
why,
just don't
yeah,
exactly.
that's why not subsidy, incentive.
Incentives, that's right. Okay, Pa. So we have seen how now the roadmap is very clear for Indonesia. I would like to ask Pa Yudo again, how will the increasing demand for EVs, two-wheelers, increasing demand of EVs, the two-wheelers or the four-wheelers be met through the localization of manufacturing and supply chain? And what would the impact be to the consumers, be from the cost perspective, because in the beginning it will be quite expensive? And what incentives for consumers and producers have been extended by the government?
We want to build what we call the ecosystem for EV.
Ecosystem
You
for
mentioned
EV.
about charging station. That's
Yeah.
one case, But we want to also build the industry, battery, and also charging facility, as well as the swap station. Still in the beginning phase actually, swap station. Because people, when thinking about recharging of EV, people always think about how fast can you go? Can you be as fast as gasoline, like a gas station, something like that. And then also we behind of this story, we also develop many standards, new standards actually for EV. And then we discuss with with the industries, because they know actually have more experience than us, but we want to adopt and then make a standard actually. Just one thing. Example, this dimension of battery for EV for two-wheelers. Yeah, it depends on the type of the
type of the motorcycle.
That's right. Okay, so we have to adjust here and there, and then build a typology actually. That's just one case, And then in the future, battery recycling, of course. Nickel will be, gradually gone, maybe next 2 decades, 3 decades, But recycling will be our future. And also R&D. Yeah, R&D is another our priority actually.
Research and development.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Pak. Let me go to Pak Bonar. Pak Bonar, UOB, what is the approach to banking this burgeoning sector, as we've seen that this has become the priorities? How do you see financial institutions like UOB evolving their approach and services to actually help the clients to capture the opportunities?
Yeah. Okay. So let me just go back to the three element of transformation. Right. You have the technology, policy, and capital. I think bank will play role in bridging the capital, whether it is equity, loan, or trade financing. Understanding the importance of the capital, bridging the capital. There are two things that UOB has that help to bridge the capital movement, right? First is sector expertise. It is very difficult to bridge the capital requirement without understanding the sector well. And that is why in 2017, UOB set up this sector solutions group to really understand the dynamic and the mega trends of the sector. The second is connectivity, because ASEAN is part of the bigger value chain. You need to understand how it is connected from China to ASEAN, from within ASEAN. Let me give you one example how we use the sector expertise and the connectivity. In Thailand, we won the ESG Trade Financing of the Year in Thailand because we provide the dealership financing for EV in Thailand. Now, at that point, the EV penetration rate is very low. Now it is bigger. 2020 is about 3.7, 2022 is about 8.7% EV penetration. But at that point of time, it is very important to understand the sector dynamic because it is early adoption of EV. We need to understand that EV is there, it will grow, but we also need to have the connectivity because the principals are China manufacturer, and they are going into distributing their product in Thailand. So having the connectivity and sector understanding is the key to our approach in supporting the transformation. So if you want to get connected, and if you need support to grow your business, UOB is here right by you.
All right, that's great. Okay, so now we still have a couple of minutes left. I'm going to open for anyone. So I've seen some questions already in our pigeonhole. So thank you very much for the enthusiasm. Let me just read the question out to you. But this one is in Indonesian, I believe. So, kedepannya bagaimana potensi nikel Indonesia di pasar dunia? What would be the future of nickel potential in the future in the world market? And also, what about the quality? Can it actually be compatible or competitive enough if you compete against Russia, nickel from Russia? And how does Indonesia nickel quality compare with other countries' resources? That was what it meant.
The future of nickel will become, nowadays nickel is going to stainless steel. This is called the ore called saprolite. So this higher quality goes to stainless steel, and then mainly export to China. We have a very strong market there in China, And the second one, what we call the limonite, the lower class actually goes to battery.
All right.
This two-path is very different technology actually.
Got it.
So number one, the future nickel, now we have a new business in the future, battery.
Okay.
Using the same resources, same ore, different class, Now we have the much higher resource actually.
Right.
Lower class nickel is everywhere actually. It's larger than the first class of nickel, So battery is going to be the big. The nickel price, of course, in my opinion, will be stronger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the optimism, Pak Yudo. Okay, now let's go to the next question we've seen here. The obstacles in the current condition of EVs are the long charging process, we talked about that, and the long distances of archipelagic Indonesia. So maybe this one goes to you, Mr. Chong. If everyone uses EVs, imagine the charging queues will be at the rest areas. Do you have any solution, maybe from your experiences? Do you have any solution to this?
Yeah, actually, the charging is one of the problems for the customer, right? So currently, I think we have a combination of the solution to the customer. So firstly, if we buy the vehicle, we can charge it at home. I think we can charge it over the night. So it's called slow charge.
So you cannot
slow
party all night, right? Because you have to
overnight,
charge your EV.
Yeah, you can just run 500, even 600 one charge. So actually, apart from the home charge, we also have the supercharge. We call it DC charge. So DC charge means, the charging input is much faster than the home charge. So that means, within around 30 to 40 minutes, the customers can finish around 50% of the vehicle charging. Of course, still this is not fast enough, right? I think now the technology is going on, and also the vehicle input of the power is also increasing. But of course, the cost will increase, right? But we need some support from the government as well to, for example, provide the transformers to support the quick charge. One more solution, I think, for this, for example, Indonesia is a long distance driving, right? We can put the charging station in the gas station. I think this is what charging operators are doing now. So, for example, every 50, every 100, kilometers of the gas station, we have the charging station. So customers, when they drive the vehicle in a longer distance, they can go there and just have 5 to 10 minutes drive, 5 to 10 minutes break, and then just have a quick charge. It can support around 100 or even 200 kilometers drive. I think these are
100 or 200.
Yeah, 100 or even 200, depending on the input capability of the vehicle and also the charger.
Okay.
But currently, I think the charger, the capacity, for example, we have the 160 kilowatts, 180 kilowatts, is a smart charging. So if one vehicle come here, the maximum input is 160 or 180.
Right.
But of course, depending on the vehicle, right? And also, if two vehicles come here, it will be separated into two. Every vehicle, will share the same of this 160 or 80.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are technologies that will not make people queue on the rest areas because we have options as well on the different types of batteries you mentioned. Okay, thank you very much for your answer. And now let's go to the next one. Long obstacles on the current condition of EVs are the long charging. Sorry, that was the one that you answered. So to the future, we see the future now, Pak. Ke depannya. We have actually answered that as well.
We have answered
okay,
that.
so now I just have my questions to all of you. So when people see Indonesia, people perhaps see Indonesia as a gateway to ASEAN. So people do not see Indonesia as one, but perhaps what do you think if Indonesia and other ASEAN countries collaborate, for example, with Malaysia, with Thailand, in making this into a reality? Because for Indonesia, it might be a long way to go, as mentioned by Pak Yudo, but when we collaborate, will it be better? Will it make it easier and faster? Maybe from Pak Yudo first?
Sure, within ASEAN, Pak Savinder Singh maybe can add, but again, we have the plan of Trans-ASEAN pipeline, gas pipeline, we have the ASEAN power grid, for instance, that, one country that needed, can supply from other country.
Yeah.
And the trend is again to green energy, renewables, that's number one. And secondly, of course, when doing together, we can build a very good value chain actually. Yeah, we're talking about supply chain, we're within Indonesia and Singapore and Malaysia as well, and Thailand too, I think. Yeah, at least this the four largest economies, in ASEAN, will drive the ASEAN, all ASEAN countries, the trend will go there like this set by these four countries. That's my own opinion. Yeah.
Thank you, Pak Yudo. What do you think, Mr. Chong?
I think for the Indonesia, because we have not officially operate in this market yet, but actually we are keep learning, studying this market, and also have some discussion with our local partners. So we think that one of the important factors is the policy, so clear of the policy. So this is very important because we want to have long-term development in the market. We need to be clear what is the policy for the long term, especially the electrification, right? I think currently, the ASEAN market, everybody is pushing for the electrification, and in Thailand it's already clear policy. So we hope in Indonesia also we have the stable and also very clear policy so that investors are clear
Yeah.
how much we're going to invest, what product we're going to launch in this market, because this is not one shot, right? This is long-term business.
And a good climate definitely incentives
Yeah.
for the investors. And would you like to add, Pak Bonar?
Yeah, I think ASEAN as a bloc is a very strong bloc for 4 reasons at least. Number one, it has the diversity. Each of the ASEAN countries has a unique quality and has a unique quality. For example, Thailand is a hub for manufacturing.
Yeah.
Indonesia is center of natural resources. Vietnam is moving to manufacturing and digital. So every country has a unique quality. Second, it has a large population. We are 600 to 700 million population. Third, it has the young population. So just combine the large population and young population, it's actually a big market. And the fourth thing that is very important is higher middle class. So our middle class in ASEAN is actually growing quite strong. So with that 4 quality, ASEAN is a huge market. And that is why I think the reason why intra-ASEAN trade itself is reaching to very strong. Yeah. So yes, if we work together, ASEAN, it's going to be a big bloc.
Work together, we become stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, there's just one question that I would raise to the panelists here. So thank you for the question. This is from Aan. Why main object in media product nickel? How about other products from Indonesia? Maybe other commodity classes, as we mentioned earlier. How about oil and mining batu bara? More potential for the future? Oh, I'm sorry. This is for oil and mining batu bara.
Yeah,
What do you think, Pak?
I can take that actually.
You can.
I think why is it we talk always about nickel? Sometimes people get bored, like everyone talk about nickel. I think nickel is one of the example or a success story where the value addition, when the policy is set right for value addition, it can transform the economy. Of course, Pak Yudo talk about other commodity like copper, for example.
Yeah.
In coal, we talk about coal transform into methyl, the chemical coal. So there are other commodities, and if we can continue the policy for value adding the commodities, I think we will have the same story like what nickel did.
So we can actually do the same with the other as well, like a success story of nickel in Indonesia. Okay, thank you for answering that. So I think we've come to the end of this panel discussion session. So in summary, it is indeed true that Indonesia is very rich in its resource as a country, and there are huge low-hanging fruits, as mentioned as well by Pak Enrico earlier, and hence create prospects. So basically, all raw or low value added are prospects. There are 2 main challenges. First, to make sure that the value addition and creation continue, not stopping at some point, and to make sure that the key ingredients, 3 key ingredients, which are the capital, technology, and policy on transformation are aligned. One of the potential value addition that more often forgotten is also the human capital. We didn't really touch on that very much. And Indonesia can be the gateway to ASEAN, and the Southeast Asian countries can combine forces to bring in different strengths and expertise to benefit the EV ecosystem in the region. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's give a big round of applause for a very robust and fruitful discussion.